Imagine this, you are in the middle of a regulatory audit, and the inspector asks for your SOPs on equipment cleaning. You confidently hand them over, only to realize that they contain outdated steps, missing details, and vague instructions rendering your equipment cleaning invalid. Within minutes, you're flagged for a GMP non-compliance issue that could cost your company millions, or worse, lead to a complete production shutdown. But here's the good news. This scenario is completely avoidable. I am Rajesh, and in this video, I'll take you through a step-by-step, foolproof method for writing clear, compliant, and audit-proof SOPs that meet GMP, FDA, WHO, and EMA standards. By the end of this video, you'll know how to write SOPs that pass audits effortlessly, how to avoid costly compliance mistakes, how to make SOPs user-friendly for easy implementation. So, whether you are in quality assurance, quality control, manufacturing, regulatory affairs, or R&D, this is a must-watch guide for mastering pharma SOP writing. Let's get started. Now, what is an SOP? A standard operating procedure, SOP, is a detailed, written instruction that ensures consistency in executing critical processes in manufacturing, quality control, validation, and compliance. Let's take a real-life case study. In 2021, a leading pharmaceutical company faced an FDA warning letter because their tablet compression SOP failed to specify critical pressure parameters. This led to inconsistent tablet weight and potency variations, resulting in a product recall worth over $10 million. As a matter of fact, regulatory bodies across the globe conduct surprise GMP audits, and SOP documentation is one of the first things they inspect. The first step to write pharma SOPs is identifying the need for an SOP. Before writing an SOP, ask, is it a new SOP, or does an existing one need revision? Does this SOP affect product quality, safety, or compliance? Which department needs this SOP? Manufacturing, QC, QA, warehouse, engineering, R&D. Now let's see some examples of when a new SOP is required. A new sterilization technique is introduced in the clean room. New equipment is installed, requiring changes to machine operation procedures. A new production line for injectables, tablets or capsules is implemented. And here are some examples of when an SOP needs revision. The company switches to new supplier for a critical raw material. A change in FDA or WHO guidelines requires procedural updates. A machine operation software has been upgraded requiring change in operating procedure. The second step is gathering information from subject matter experts. Who should contribute to SOP drafting? Process operators, the ones performing the tasks daily. Quality assurance, QA, ensures GMP and regulatory compliance. Regulatory affairs, confirms SOP aligns with WHO, FDA standards. Production, manufacturing team, ensures process feasibility. Engineering, maintenance team, verifies equipment-related details. The third step is structuring the SOP properly. A standard SOP format should include title and document number. The title should clearly define what the SOP covers, and the document number ensures traceability and version control. Without a clear title, employees may confuse it with another SOP, leading to procedural errors. Without a document number, it's difficult to track revisions, leading to outdated procedures being used during work. Regulatory bodies like the FDA and WHO expect structured documentation. Missing document control can result in compliance violations. A standard SOP format should include purpose and scope. This section defines why the SOP exists and the exact areas or processes it applies to. What happens if purpose and scope are missing? Employees may misinterpret when and where the SOP should be applied. Departments may inconsistently follow procedures, leading to deviations. During an audit, regulators may ask, why does this SOP exist? If this section is unclear, it raises serious compliance concerns. For example, if an SOP for tablet coating doesn't specify it applies to both immediate and extended release tablets, operators might incorrectly assume the same process applies to all products, affecting drug release profiles and stability. A standard SOP format should include responsibilities. While writing an SOP, clearly define who is responsible for following, enforcing, and approving the SOP. What happens if responsibilities are missing? No accountability. If an issue arises, no one knows who is responsible for corrective action. During an audit, the inspector may ask, who ensures this process is followed? If responsibilities are unclear, this is flagged as poor GMP compliance. Cross-functional confusion. Production might assume QA is responsible, while QA assumes production is handling it. A standard SOP format should include procedure, step-by-step instructions. While writing an SOP, provide clear, precise, and sequential steps for performing a task correctly. What can happen if procedure is missing or poorly written? Employees will perform tasks inconsistently, leading to batch-to-batch variations. Vague instructions increase errors. Operators might guess instead of following standardized procedures. Regulatory audits will fail if step-by-step documentation is unclear or ambiguous. Let's see an example. Poor instruction. Use an appropriate amount of solvent to clean the vessel. Correct instruction. Use 500 ml of 70% IPA. Wipe all surfaces with a sterile lint-free cloth, and allow to air dry for 15 minutes before reuse. A standard SOP format should include reference documents. While writing an SOP, provide a list of supporting documents that ensure compliance with regulations, such as GMP guidelines, stability protocols, batch manufacturing records, equipment validation reports, instrument, equipment manuals. If references are missing, auditors will question whether the SOP aligns with GMP and regulatory standards. Employees might rely on outdated practices that conflict with new regulations. In case of deviations or CAPAs, there will be no supporting documents to verify whether the process was followed correctly. For example, if an SOP for tablet dissolution testing calibration doesn't reference USP guidelines, analysts might use non-compliant methods, leading to regulatory rejection of product release data. A standard SOP format should include revision and approval section. Always track SOP updates and approvals by authorized personnel to ensure it remains up to date and compliant. What can happen if this is missing? Employees may unknowingly follow an outdated version, leading to non-compliance. Regulatory authorities will ask, who last approved this SOP? If no approval records exist, this raises serious compliance concerns. If an SOP is revised due to a GMP deviation or change control, there will be no official record of why and when the change was made. For example, if an SOP on sterile gowning procedures is revised due to new EU Annex 1 requirements, but employees still follow an older version, this could result in cleanroom contamination and regulatory warnings. Let me give you a user-friendly tip. Always use tables and flowcharts to make SOPs more easy to follow. The fourth step is writing in a clear, concise, and user-friendly manner. Some of the best writing practices are to use simple and direct sentences, avoid jargon, to use active voice, e.g., weigh 50 grams of raw material, instead of the raw material should be weighed. Avoid ambiguous terms like sufficient, as required, or if necessary. Example of a poorly written SOP: ensure the equipment is cleaned properly. Instead, the correct version should be, wipe all external machine surfaces with a lint-free cloth soaked in 70% IPA. The fifth step is reviewing and approving the SOP steps before finalizing an SOP. QA and SMS review the draft for technical and compliance accuracy. Verification by a regulatory expert to meet FDA, WHO guidelines. Approval from department heads, QA, production, regulatory. Here's a GMP compliance tip. Every SOP should have version control to track revisions. A well-written SOP isn't just a compliance document, it's the foundation of quality, safety, and efficiency in pharmaceutical manufacturing. By following this structured approach, you'll create GMP-compliant, user-friendly, regulatory-ready, audit-proof SOPs that ensure error-free production and regulatory success. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like and share to help more professionals learn. Comment below or mail me with any questions or SOP-related challenges. Subscribe to PharmaHealth Insights for more insights on pharma industry. Until next time, stay compliant and keep innovating. See you in the next video.